Welcome to the Legion of Impact, where our goal is to bring you tactical ideas, insights, and meaningful conversations to help you build a life that you're proud of and positively impact the world. Now for your host, Anthony Hamilton.
What is going on, guys? Welcome to the Legion of Impact. My name is Anthony. I am the host of this podcast. And guys, today is a solo episode. What I wanted to talk about today, actually, before I get into that, make sure you go and subscribe to the podcast. It helps us grow. I know we're not posting, super consistently or whatever, but there is some value. I believe that, we're trying to provide value on this podcast. So whether it's just me, it's Avery and I, or it's a guest, we hope that you can take something away from these episodes. And, we do have all the intention in the world of being more consistent with this and, just being better about getting weekly videos out. That being said, we run two other businesses, so this is kind of tertiary, if you will. And so, but we would appreciate a like and follow or a subscribe or whatever you do on these podcast platforms. Whatever platform you follow, go ahead and do that so you're notified when we release new episodes of the podcast, because we are really trying to provide value and, get the word out there about, how to help each other all win. The Legion of Impact is founded upon the question of what is the impact that you wish to leave in the world. And we aim to do that by telling other people's stories, helping you from our own experiences, right? And it's not even that we have all the answers, because we certainly don't. It's just that, we're trying to kind of educate people on the things that we're learning as we're going through it. And so very rarely is it I'm going to say never is it a place that we're above and you're below as a listener, right? That's never the case. So I don't want you to think that. It's just trying to, spread the word as we're going through it, as we're learning about things, and, or, messages that maybe we learned a little bit ago and, just thought that maybe it should be mentioned again. So that is actually that's what I'm going to be talking about today is, really it's around the premise of support systems and starting a new business or a new endeavor at any scale. It's super important to have support systems, and, this can come in the form of friends, family, friends of family type thing. So it can be, or it could be, your workplace or other business partners or whatever the case is, right? It could come in many different forms, but it's important to have those. And, it's super important because it helps with encouragement. It helps with advice and accountability to keep you on track, to keep you going, keep you motivated, right, when you're not feeling like it. And, what we found, and I guess no hard feelings, right? But I don't want this to come across as like I'm bitching or anything like that. But what we've found is that, unfortunately, most people aren't going to support you until you've already done something successful, until you've already grown a business that is super successful, right? They don't want to, there's very few people that want to be along on the journey with you. A lot of people want to wait until you get to the top and then they join you at the top, right? And they say, "Oh, I was there, the whole time for you." When that is not really the truth. Right, wrong, or indifferent, but that's not the truth nonetheless. And so, it gets discouraging when people, you feel like people don't support you. So I'm going to talk about two types of people that aren't really supporting you, right? So what you're probably going to encounter the most actually is naysayers, right? So we tell the story. There's multiple people in your family and your friends that will, naysayers make these comments like, just be aware you still have to provide for your family. Just be aware, things are expensive. Just be aware you have to buy groceries, or, don't forget about paying insurance, or, all this kind of stuff. And they start throwing out monetary value, and, groceries are expensive. They're $300 a week, or, whatever the case is. And these are the things that kind of like get in your head, and they, what is it that I'm looking for? They get in your head, and they kind of discourage you from going all in on this thing, because it's like, oh yeah, shit, he's right? Like, yeah, life is expensive. I do have a family I have to support. Like, there's a lot going on that maybe I'm not cut out for this, right? And these naysayers kind of get in your head and get in your subconscious about second guessing yourself, second guessing maybe the decisions that you're making, or the type of business that you're in, or whatever. And it's not second guessing yourself in a positive way. It's second guessing yourself and your abilities to not be able to do whatever it is that you're setting out to do, whether it's a business or run a marathon or whatever the case is, right? There's always naysayers, and naysayers are the ones that will make little sidebar comments that kind of get you to not believe in whatever path that you're going to take. The second one is haters. And haters, everybody knows haters. And in fact, I remember back in high school, between the years of like 2009, 2012, the popular saying was, I heart haters, right? There was a skateboard brand that came out with like t-shirts and the saying that said, I heart haters. And my brother and I, we loved that saying, because we're the type of people that, we tend to tap into our dark side, right? So the more you hate on us, the more we're going to put our nose down and just grind and fucking crush it, right? And because our mentality is, we're going to show you, right? But there is a toxicity to that. There is a toxic mindset behind loving the haters, because eventually, I will say eventually, that shit does get to you. The shit that they're saying, they're trying to troll you on social media. They're going to other businesses and saying, don't go to this person. He's a douchebag, or, whatever the case is, or he's a fake motivational influencer, or all the shit that you can ever possibly hear, right? Or, they're brand new into business. Don't work with them. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. So there's all sorts of ways that somebody can be a hater, but normally these are more malicious. These are intentionally malicious. They're being aimed at you to discredit you, to discount your services, to, kind of ruin your reputation, if you will. So, now that being said, like something on social media, right? A lot of the time, all press is good press is what the saying says, right? Now, if you got a hater online and they're just spewing a bunch of garbage and like everybody knows that it's garbage, then that helps you, because that's putting you on. That's triggering the algorithms to know people are talking about you, and that's going to put you on, right? It's going to give you attention. That's why a lot of politicians go so controversial, because controversy sells, right? So that's why haters can do a lot of good for you if you know how to tap into the dark side, right? And if you know how to capitalize on the attention that they provide. That being said, though, you have to be doing the work. You have to be a good person. You have to be doing a good fucking job in order to make sure people know that those haters aren't justified in what they're saying. They're not correct in what they're saying, right? So that being said, like, it gets discouraging when you're starting a new endeavor, and I talk from the frame of business, but I remember back in the Marine Corps, right? So I had friends coming in from the schoolhouse, so coming into the fleet, and, we would talk, and our goals were, I want to be sergeant before I, E5 before I get out, or before my first 4 years is up, right? And these were dudes that, like, we were all good friends. And then eventually, I was going down this path. Like, I was a motivator is what we called it. And for some reason in the Marine Corps, like, the more motivated you are, the less you're liked. You don't even have to be a douchebag or a dickhead But if you're motivated and you like what you do and you love leading people and whatever, like, people just didn't like you. Like, that's just kind of how it went. There were some people that you could be motivated and be liked, and I kind of toted that line. Like, most people liked me, but there were some people that really didn't. That was just because I set myself and everyone else to a super high standard in the Marine Corps. And, I didn't want to accept anything less than that. And my Marines knew that. A lot of people respected it, but there were the onesie twosies who just didn't want to do shit for you. They were belligerent, and they just, we called them skaters. They were the ones that, you'd ask the Marines in the warehouse or whatever in the platoon. You'd say, hey, where's so-and-so? Nobody would know. But then you go knock on their barracks room door and they were in there. So my point is, though, that like, I was super motivated. I was good at what I did. And I went up on a meritorious board for promotion to corporal, and people were trying to fight me. I remember it vividly that there were 3 individuals who were literally, they were trying to break into my barracks room, trying to fight me because they thought that they should get promoted over me or before me on this meritorious board or whatever. They weren't even on it. They had been NJP'd multiple times. If you don't know, NJP is like a very serious punishment in the Marine Corps. Most of the time, you're going to get your rank taken. You're going to get demoted, basically, to the rank below you, and you're going to get half pay and all this other shit, right? So all 3 of these people had gotten NJP'd multiple times, not just once, but like 2 or 3 times. And they were the ones who were coming at me because they were in the Marine Corps probably 2 years before me. And so they felt like they rated promotion prior to me. Now that they all of a sudden got their career back on track, whatever, right? They didn't, but they thought they did. And so they were trying to fight me just because I was like the newer guy getting promoted before them. And now I was going to be quote unquote in charge of them. And they didn't like that. Not many people do. If they're in that mindset where just like they're belligerent naturally and like they're salty about them getting in trouble, maybe they made some bad decisions or whatever, like they don't want anyone else to win because they had already lost. They already gave up their position in life or in that career or whatever it is. And so they want everybody else to fail as well. And that is exactly what these people were doing. And I remember the comments and, everything. And like I said, they were trying to fight me. I ended up going on that meritorious board and winning the meritorious board and getting promoted to corporal that next month. Actually, I think it was March 1st of 2015, I got promoted to corporal. And they just, those people, those ones with that attitude and mindset, they just, they didn't handle it very well. They were doing all that they could to try and discredit me, to try and make sure that nobody listened to me, to make sure that people were going against what I was saying. Nobody was showing up for my PTs or anything like that. So there was all sorts of shit. And then when we would do reviews and stuff, and they would go up to my superior and they would talk shit about me, even though they were the only ones doing that. And so it was like it was basically the word of, 40 other Marines versus like 3 of them. And obviously they lost the whole way. They ended up getting out of the Marine Corps. One of them ended up going to the brig because he went on a wild police chase and ended up with some serious counts of like crazy shit. Anyway, those are the people that like, those are haters. Like those are people that, you need to stay away from at all costs. Don't spend any time near them. And, that being said, like you are going to hear the noise from the outside, the chirping from the outside. You need to make sure that you can ignore that. You need to make sure that you can move past that. Because if you can't, man, you're fucked because they are loud, right? And, it's just like the political climate now. You get the loud minority, right? So a minority, 20% of the people are louder than the 80% of the people. And that's what haters are like, right? Haters are the ones that are really intentionally malicious to you and your endeavors, right? So just be cognizant of that. And then naysayers are just the ones, like I remember going, like when we were making the decision to go into the Marine Corps, obviously your parents are going to be like, maybe your dad might be cool with it, but your mom definitely is going to be like, you're going to die in all this other nonsense, right? Because she's a mom, like moms care. And, but that is a form of naysaying. So it makes you second guess things. And it's discouraging to hear that. And the fact of the matter is, and what we're finding with our business is, we're 6 years into our real estate business. We're still not getting support from family and friends, right? It's still not there to where it needs to be. And very rarely are you going to get that until you're like the best, right? Which is warranted. Like, sure, like I understand, when somebody is really fucking good and they've proved themselves time and time again, then it's easy to show them that support. But when, there are little stints here and there, time periods here and there where maybe you got ditched by a client or something, right? Because shit happens. Or maybe you dropped the ball on a certain circumstance, or, just maybe you went a month without a paycheck, because that happens too in an all commission job. Like, but then the next month you might get 3 paychecks. And so you get paid really well for that. But anyways, so like the naysayers come from within as well. And they're just as damaging. Maybe not outwardly, but internally they're just as damaging. And so you just got to be cognizant of that too. And you need to make sure that you work your mind and your mindset to be able to fight those off, to be able to fight off those negative thought patterns and the things that people are really trying to get you to be thinking, like doubting yourself and, really second guessing your decisions in doing whatever. So really be cognizant of positive thought patterns. Get away from those naysayers, get away from the haters. Don't talk to them about anything. Like that saying, like move in silence, that's a real thing. The less you can talk to these motherfuckers about anything, the better you're going to be. And that sucks because you want the encouragement. But find the people who are going to encourage you, who are going to be with you every step of the way if you need them, and run with them, right? It doesn't matter if you hang out with them. It does not matter. If they support you, hold on to them. If they don't support you, weed them out, right? I'm not saying completely disregard them. Don't ever see them ever again in your life, right? Because sometimes this is family. Sometimes it matters that you see these people because they're family. You love them. But don't be talking about your endeavors with them. Just let it be. Just let it be. Talk to them about other shit that they actually care about, right? People are selfish. Like, you got to understand that. People are selfish. They want to talk about what they want to talk about. They want to talk about what they're good at. They want to hear their name. Most of the time, the conversation starts with I, right? They're talking about themselves. And so people are selfish. They don't care about what you have going on. And that's the fact of the matter. That's a sad reality. And the quicker you can realize that earlier in your endeavors, the better you're going to be, because you're not going to have these expectations of getting support. Like when we got out of the Marine Corps and got into real estate, we had like high expectations of being supported by everybody. We thought everyone loved us, and we thought everybody believed in us, and like we thought that everybody was going to support us 100%. And then when some of the people who are closest to you, you find out that they really don't support you, like they don't support your decision or whatever, because it's not a comfy, cozy 9-to-5 job type thing. It hits home. It gets discouraging. You feel like shit because of it. You question your relationship with them, right? It shouldn't be that way. Just accept it, acknowledge it. Okay, cool. And then have the mindset of, I'm going to show you, right? I'm going to show you, I'm going to be successful doing this. All these things that you said, thank you for that, because now I know I need to go fucking prove you wrong, and use that as the dark side, right? But don't be malicious about it. Don't hold grudges. Like Avery and I, we do keep receipts, right? Like we keep receipts, but the way that we're going to use those receipts is the ones who naysayed, we're going to be taking them on vacations when we do make it to where we want to go. The ones who said that we couldn't do it or didn't show us any support or didn't refer us, we're going to be taking them on vacations. Like all expenses paid. They're not going to be paying for shit. And that's how we're going to show them, hey, you were fucking wrong. You know, you were fucking wrong. And so I just think that's super important. Don't get real malicious about it. Don't get real sour about it. Just if you keep receipts like we do something good with that receipt, right? Do something good. You know, prove it to them by taking them on a nice vacation. Say, hey, thank you for the support. And they'll know when you say that, they'll know that they didn't fucking support you at all. And look where you are. Maybe you're on a balcony in Hawaii with the nicest view on the island. Like, you know, these things happen. And that, in my opinion, that is the best way to go about that. And so, you know, I think it's super important to remember that success takes time. Very rarely is success going to be overnight, unless you win the lottery. That's it. And then you're going to lose it because you don't really appreciate it, right? If something comes quickly, you won't appreciate it. If you've suffered and put your fucking time in, you're going to appreciate that and you're going to hold on to it and you're going to build upon that, right? Because you fucking appreciate it. You've bled, you've sweat, you've cried over this shit. Like you've suffered for real. And that's what business is. And very rarely does a business or any sort of success take overnight, right? It's always going to take time. You're going to suffer setbacks. It happens. You know, you're going to get hurt or something. You're going to break your leg. You're going to have to sit out, have surgery. That's going to take time. Maybe you're a runner or a CrossFitter or whatever the case is. If you get injured, that's going to set you back. And so you need to have the mental wherewithal to say, I'm going to get back on track no matter what. No matter what my fucking setback is, I'm going to get back on track. And it's a hard mindset to have, but you need to be cut from that cloth if you want to make it. You have to be. Sometimes you made a bad decision. Now you got to pay a shit ton in taxes. There goes all your savings and you're back to day one, right? Things like that happen too. So like, you just got to make sure that you keep pushing, stay focused on your goal, stay focused on your business and, you know, mind your business, right? So yes, like mind your business or whatever endeavor you're trying to do, but also mind your business. Don't care about what other people are doing. Don't care about what other people are saying. Mind your business, right? Focus on yourself. Don't focus on anyone else and just go crush it anyway, despite what everybody else is saying. Okay. So lastly, you know, I just want to be sure that you understand me right in that like pay it forward. You know, when we see that we don't receive support, it hurts. It hurts all of us. We want support from the people that we love and care about. When we're not getting that, it fucking hurts. And so like what I'm saying is like you need to make sure that if you see somebody, especially if it's a younger kid, someone younger than you, but if you see anybody, no matter what age it is, no matter what gender, no matter what sex, ethnicity, race, religion, color, creed, sexual orientation, none of that matters. Make sure that you support them. Make sure that you give it your all in making sure that they fucking believe in themselves. Because, guys, life is too short to, you know, for people to just be like hating their life. We see it all the time. We see it in our parents, our grandparents, our friends, our family, you know, whatever. We see it all the time that people hate their fucking lives because they wish that they believed in themselves. They wish that they had the guts, the courage to pursue their dreams, the things they actually fucking wanted to do. I heard a quote that, you know, said like 90-something% of people on their deathbed said that they wish they believed in themselves more. And that's fucking powerful. That is powerful. if I get to my deathbed and I know that I didn't give it my all, man, I would know that I'm going to hell. Like, that would be me going to hell. Me personally, like, I need to make sure that when I'm on my deathbed, I know 100% fact that I gave it my all. I did everything that I could. I believed in myself. I let others know that they could believe in themselves too. Like, and I did good in the community because of all that. Like, and that's the mission I'm on, man. And, you know, that should probably be the mission that you're on too. It is hard when you don't receive the support, but make sure you keep pushing anyway. Make sure you keep driving and you keep focused on your goals, on whatever your endeavor is. Not, you know, again, I speak from a business perspective, but not just business, man. It could be literally anything. Literally anything. Make sure you stay focused on that and don't let anybody deter you. Believe in yourself 100%. Don't get sidetracked by setbacks, right? A setback is just a setup for a comeback. So like, don't give up on yourself. Don't, somebody's calling me. Don't give up on yourself. Don't let other people's chirping get in your head. A lot of the time that is hard. It's hard not to let that get into your head because you care about these people, most likely. If you don't care about them, then it really should not fucking matter, right? Because you know what you're doing. You know you're a good person. And you don't even like them. Like, chances are they don't like you either. Cool. Like, why does it matter, right? But when you care about them, then it matters. And so I'm here to say, you know, make sure you don't listen to that. Block it all out. Leave your endeavors in your own mind. You know, move in silence. Get help from the people that do support you. And you'll recognize the ones who do support you. Make sure they know that they're appreciated. And make sure that you just stay focused and you fucking grind. Because success does take time. It's not a 5-year thing. It's not a 10-year thing. It's probably going to take longer than that to get to. Like, you also got to understand that success is a moving scale. So 10 years down the road, you get to a certain point where you look back and 10 years ago, you would have thought that position was successful. But where you're at now, you're not feeling like you're really successful, right? Even though you are progressed a lot more than you were before, making a lot more money than you were before, or, you know, running a lot further than you did before, or climbing Mount Everest higher than you ever did before, whatever the case is. You're further than you were before. So it's a moving scale. And so that being said, like, don't listen to other people. Use it as fuel, if anything. Take the receipts and then do good with that. And then pay that support forward. So when other people are talking to you about their endeavors, because they inevitably will, make sure you support them. Make sure you help them out. Don't be a naysayer. Don't be a hater. Help them out. There's enough room in this world for all of us to win. So you helping them, you supporting them is not going to take away from your success. In fact, it'll actually make it exponentially better. And so that being said, guys, hope you got something from that. Again, a little housekeeping. I know we haven't been consistent on this. I know last time I recorded was like a month ago. It's unsat. I can say that, but you know, it is what it is. Again, the podcast is tertiary. We're trying to get this to a point where we can record more often. But it is what it is. You know, we're trying, but sometimes you have to find something that is a little bit less of a priority. Now, ideally, podcasting would be our number one because we fucking love doing this. But we're not at that point right now. So hope you guys got something from this. If you did get something from this, make sure you share the show. I would appreciate that. It helps us grow. Make sure you subscribe and follow the channel. And this will be on YouTube as well. So that being said, hope you guys have a great day. Hope you have a great rest of the week. And I'm looking forward to the next one, guys. We'll see ya.